Hi, my name is Witney, this is Conspiracy 101, and today we're going to be looking at jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Hello, and welcome to the season finale of Season 3. And why start with probably the memeiest of the 9/11 conspiracies in comparison to the other videos that we do on this channel? Usually, as with things like aliens and New World Order, we start with the broader subject and then we narrow in afterwards. So maybe the first episode on a certain topic is the overarching conspiracies. However, there are so many, and let's whilst I'm talking, let's just scroll through the Wikipedia 9/11 conspiracies page. There are so many 9/11 conspiracies, of which I'm sure you're familiar with lots of them. And there are so many that if we did one episode of it, because they're all so intertwined, it would just be too long. So instead, what I'm going to do with the various 9/11 conspiracies, of which there are many, is start with the smaller ones and build our way up. And jet fuel can't melt steel beams has become the most memed, isn't it? It's become the one that is most easiest to refute. Basically, jet fuel can't get to the high enough temperature to melt steel. But the steel doesn't need to be molten in order to be affected. And the structural integrity, that's the word that will come up a lot in the 9/11 conspiracies, is affected, whether it's molten or not. It only needs to get a little bit bendy. It only needs to expand a little bit. And although there are lots of minutiae and intricacies when it comes to the actual what caused the fires, how the fires spread, at what extent were the fires, etc., etc., the main conspiracy that it was the jet fuel that melted the steel beams, and that was the reason why, can be debunked. How they go about it is very interesting. The words they usually go about it is very interesting, and it's nowhere near the best conspiracy, but it is one of the easiest ones to talk about, and that's why we're doing it first, basically. So, again, this Wikipedia page is ridiculous. I'm hardly going to be using it today because the majority of what I've got set up is news articles, which explain. That was spooky. Alright, so steel beams, here we go. So this is from Discover Magazine. One free article left. Thanks, Discover Magazine. Appreciate the support. Right, steel beams. The attacks on the Twin Towers of 9/11 stand as one of the most shocking moments in US history, and for some the attacks seem too coordinated to have come from a terrorist group. Instead, so-called truthers pin the blame on government conspiracy. One of the most cited and well-publicised pieces of evidence offered by this group is the claim that jet fuel does not burn at high enough temperatures to melt the steel beams. I think, yeah, most cited, probably not. Most well-publicised, yeah, I agree with that. By this logic, explosives or some other form of fuel must have been used to bring the buildings down. While jet fuel burns, which burns at around 800 to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, may not reach the 2750 degree melting point of steel, it is only about half as strong as at 1100 degrees, according to a comprehensive report. Well, let's click on this comprehensive report, compiled by Popular Mechanics in 2005. Okay. Popular Mechanics, debunking the 9/11 conspiracy theories, special report, the World Trade Center. Oh yeah, let me go back to this. This wasn't just about one conspiracy. 5 times scientists tackled conspiracies, and one, chemtrails, fluoride, microwaves. We'll get to you, microwaves. You don't think again. Conspiracy 101. Bigfoot. Well, we all know. Did I talk about it in the giant? I don't think I talked about it. I know what Bigfoot is. We'll talk about what Bigfoot is. And it ain't no man in a bear suit. And then it gets to steel beams. Right. Okay. Is melted steel. Here we go. Claim. We have been lied to, announces the website attackonamerica.net. I trust it. The first lie was that the load of fuel from the aircraft was the cause of structural failure. No kerosene fire can burn hot enough to melt steel. The posting is entitled Proof of Controlled Demolition at the World Trade Centers. Fact. Jet Jet fuel burns at 800 to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, not hot enough to melt steel, 2,750 degrees Fahrenheit. However, experts agree that for the towers to collapse, their steel frames didn't need to melt. They just had to lose some of their structural strength, and that required exposure to much less heat. I have never seen melted steel in a building fire, says retired New York Deputy Fire Chief Vincent Dunn, author of The Collapse of Burning Buildings, A Guide to Fireground Safety. Right, not being facetious at all, that sounds like a cool book. But I've seen a lot of twisted, warped, bent, and sagging steel. What happens is that the steel tries to expand at both ends, but when it can no longer expand, it sags and the surrounding concrete cracks. Steel loses about 50% of its strength at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit, notes senior engineer Farid Al-Fawakiri of the American Institute of Steel Construction, and at 1800 degrees it is probably at less than 10%. NIST, North American Institute for Steel Testing? What does NIST stand for? Maybe it was explained earlier. Also believes that his great deal of spray-on fireproofing insulation was likely knocked off from the steel beams that were in the path of the crashing jets, leaving metal more vulnerable to the heat. Again, like I said, there's a lot of minutiae and a lot of variables in all of the conspiracies regarding 9/11. But jet fuel wasn't the only thing burning, notes Foreman Williams, a professor of engineering at the University of California, San Diego, and one of 7 structural engineers and fire experts that Popular Mechanics consulted. 7. Wow. Comprehensive. He says that while jet fuel was the catalyst for World Trade Center fires, the resulting inferno was intensified by the combustible material inside the buildings, including rugs, curtains, furniture, and paper. NIST reports that pockets of fire hit 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. The jet fuel was the ignition source, Williams tells Popular Mechanics. It burned for maybe 10 minutes. Maybe. And the towers were still standing in 10 minutes. It was the rest of the stuff burning afterwards that was responsible for the heat transfer that eventually brought them down. Interesting. So, like I said, I've got lots and lots of articles. I'm not going to read the Mirror article, I don't care. What I'm really after is the comments. So let's just read a few of the comments. I tend to steer clear of these types of conspiracy theories. It's only a few clicks away. Clicks on any of those websites before you get to the protocols. I think we all know what you're talking about. The reptiles. Mr. David Icke. Oh, no, wait, no, he doesn't. It's not the reptiles. It's not what he means. He means reptiles. You know exactly what they're pushing. There are a lot of issues, but the protocol conspiracists seem to toxify the debate. I'm still astonished that there are so many believe the official NIST version. Hundreds of architects, structural engineers, demolition experts have stated publicly that the 3 buildings designed to withstand being hit by planes were demolished professionally. What a cover-up! People did report that the building was undergoing a structural test days before the so-called attack. So-called. And what about the witnesses that claimed the planes were dark grey with no windows? People are so naive. Agree. Agree. And what about the interviews of the firemen that came out the lobby straight after the collapse? And not just the 2 that were being interviewed, saying they heard multiple rapid explosions, saying it seemed to come from beneath them. Confused face. Thinking face. I don't know what that is. Absolutely full marks to the Daily Mirror for allowing an open forum on this. I posted a polite opinion in The Guardian against the official verdict, and they deleted. So much for Guardian and its much vaunted human rights. They're as bad as the rest. Maybe because they considered you were talking bollocks. Fuck me. Every time. God damn it. Right, future Alex, edit this out of the video, please. Future Alex. Whee! Hello? Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I am using the list you gave me. I'm not. No. I'm not, yes, I went, yeah, those webs, they're not the ones I'm using. Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what... But I'm not going to show those websites. Yeah, but... Surely can't you just wait until the video's out? Would you... What? You're not even... Yes, I did agree to that. But that doesn't mean... I'm in the UK. I'm not... That doesn't... Yes. No. I am... That's not... You can read... You can save a list as many times as you want. It's not gonna... Yeah. But you're not from... I agree. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree to that. But that's not... You... Hello? Hello?